Alright guys, this is Techie Champion. This is going to be the second video in my series on the Packet Tracer Skills Integration Challenge 5.4.1.2. It's all about VLANs and inter-VLAN routing. So we went ahead and we assigned our VLANs here. We assigned the names and we activated this SVI on VLAN 99 to enable SSH. And we gave it an IP address based off the table. So let's go ahead and jump into the next part here. So go ahead and open up your switch, get yourself back to global config mode. Now we need to assign the ports to the VLANs. Before we do that, I'm just going to do a do show run. Hit enter. Actually, I'm sorry, hit do show VLAN. And we can see our VLANs here. 10 faculty and staff, 20 students, 30 guest default, 88 native, 99 management. So those are the VLANs that we created, and this is one of the most useful show commands, is the show VLAN. Shows you, it will show us what ports are actually assigned here after we go ahead and do that. So based off the table over here, it wants port 11 through 17 in VLAN 10. So what I'm going to do is use the interface range command, which will allow us to configure multiple ports at the same time instead of having to go in and do each port individually. So type interface or int range fa0/11 space hyphen space 17 and hit enter. And your prompt should change to interface range configuration mode. We need to make sure that these are actually hard-coded as access ports. So we'll just type switch port mode access. Hit enter. Switch port access VLAN 10. So what we did is we said, hey, 11 through 17, you guys are now access ports, and I want you to access VLAN 10. And as long as you get no errors, you should be good. Let's type exit. Do the same thing. Interface range fa0/18 space hyphen space 24. Hit enter. And I'm just going to go straight down the line over here. So anyway, make them access ports. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 20. Six through 10. Switch port mode access. You could probably just up arrow a few times here. Maybe not. I'm just going to type it in. Switch port access VLAN 30. VLAN 88. That's going to be the gigabit port on this switch. So interface G0/1. I believe that's the trunk port too. Let's verify that real quick. And yes. So instead of making this an access port, we're going to have to go ahead and make this a trunk, because that's going to be the bridge from our switch to the router. And that's going to transport the data from multiple VLANs over to the router. And that's the purpose of a trunk. So, get yourself into configuration mode for the gig 0/1 interface. Type switch port, mode, trunk. And as you may know, trunks are not a part of any VLAN, so we don't have to go ahead and assign this port to any VLAN. It's a trunk. It's its own entity, so you don't have to assign it to a VLAN. But what we do have to do is set this port as the native VLAN, because by default the native VLAN is 1. So I'm assuming since it's called native, they want it to be the native VLAN. So go ahead and type switch port trunk native VLAN 88, I believe. Yeah, switch port trunk native VLAN 88. That'll go ahead and set that VLAN to as the native VLAN. Hit exit. And the last one here is VLAN 99, and there actually is no ports assigned to that because that's just an SVI interface. So go ahead and type exit here, get back to privileged exec mode and do a show VLAN again. This is kind of weird with the bigger font in here, but let's see. There we go. I'm just going to stretch it out so we can see it a little better. So 1 is the default, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. So we're not really even using those. But 10 has 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 in it. 20 has 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 in it. 30 has 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in it. 88 is the native VLAN, and that's our trunk port. And 99 is the management. For some reason, G0/1 is still in VLAN 1. It didn't actually set itself as a trunk port. We'll worry about that later after we get the router configured. So just stay on track here. You should be at 38 points. All ports not assigned to a VLAN should be disabled. So we'll go ahead and do that. So based off our show VLAN table here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gig 0/2 should be disabled. So in order to do that, get yourself to global config and do an interface range command. FA 0/1 space hyphen space. What was it? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. We'll do that range, hit enter. And to shut a port down, type shutdown. That'll disable those ports. And do the same thing for the gig 0/2 interface. And like I said earlier, gig 0/1 we set as a trunk port, so it shouldn't even be showing up in any VLAN. I don't know if I did something wrong. We'll go ahead and address this issue a little bit later. But just make sure that you are at 38% completion. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Stay tuned for the third part. I hope this is helpful. Please like and subscribe to my page. It means a lot to me. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I'll see you for part 3.